corporal punishment. It is irreversible and ends the lives of those punished instead of temporarily imprisoning them. For a clear majority of countries, the death penalty is a thing of the past, concluded either that it is unnecessary and incompatible with modern standards of justice. Moving on to the workability of the death penalty system, the Innocence Protection Act of 2000 report presented before the Committee on the Judiciary of the House of Representatives states that 2 out of 3 death penalty convictions have been overturned on appeal because of police and prosecutorial misconduct, as well as serious errors by incompetent court-appointed defense attorneys with little experience in trying capital cases. Gary Graham was 17 when he was charged with the 1981 robbery and shooting of Bobby Lambert outside a Houston supermarket. He was convicted primarily of the testimony of one witness who said that she saw the killer's face for a few seconds through her car windshield. 2 other witnesses, both who worked at the grocery store, said that Graham was not the killer but were never interviewed by Graham's court-appointed attorney, Ronald Moore, and were never called to testify at the trial. He was executed on the 28th of June, 2000. 3 of the jurors who voted to convict Graham signed affidavits saying they would have voted differently had all of the evidence been available. Former U.S. Supreme Court Justice William Brennan said that death penalty is an unusually severe punishment. He also added that death is unusual in its pain, its finality, and its enormity. The fatal constitutional infirmity in the punishment of death is that it treats members of the human race as non-humans. I think death penalty is inconsistent with the fundamental premise of the clause that even the wildest criminal remains a human being possessed of common human dignity. Mr. Brennan defines death penalty as a cruel and unusual punishment prohibited by the clause. He also suggests that the death sentences imposed are in direct violation of the 8th and 14th Amendments. There is no credible evidence that the death penalty deters crime more effectively than long-term imprisonment. A report by the American Civil Liberties Union indicates that states that have death penalty laws do not have lower crime rates or murder rates than states without such laws. And states that have abolished capital punishment show no significant changes in either crime or murder rates. The death penalty has no deterrent effect, claims that each execution deters a certain number of murders have been thoroughly discredited by social science research. The media commonly reports that the American public overwhelmingly supports the death penalty. However, more careful analysis of public attitude reveals that most Americans would oppose the death penalty if convicted murderers were sentenced to life without parole. In addition, those convicted were required to make some form of financial restitution. The death penalty has a couple of disadvantages with respect to costs included in the process of death penalty. A report of the California Commission on the Fair Administration of Justice states that the additional cost of confining an inmate to death row as compared to the maximum security prison is $90,000 per year per inmate. With California's current death row population of 670, the capital punishment system accounts for $63.3 million annually. Using conservative projections, the Commission estimates the annual cost of the present death penalty system to be $137 million per year. The cost of the present system with reforms recommended by the Commission to ensure a fair process would be $232 million per year. The cost of a system which imposes a maximum penalty of lifetime incarceration instead of the death penalty would be $11.5 million per year. These statistics clearly indicate that the cost involved in the whole system of death penalty is 10 times more than the cost involved in the system which imposes a maximum penalty of life. A report posted on AmnestyUSA.org states that the greatest costs associated with the death penalty occur prior to and during trial, not in post-conviction proceedings. Even if all post-conviction proceedings were abolished, the death penalty would still be more expensive than alternative sentences. In conclusion, I would like to disagree with the proposition stated by my opponents, as death penalty is immortal in principle, discriminatory in practice, and expensive in its process. Thank you.